Welcome. You have arrived at Sleep Science Fact, a quiet place where science slows down, where knowledge becomes gentle, and where the mind is allowed to rest. Before we talk about storms, before clouds begin to move, before rain finds its way to the ground, take a moment to simply be here. There is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to prepare for tomorrow. This time is yours. A small pause in a long day, a space where thinking can soften and where the body is free to unwind. At Sleep Science Fact, we explore the universe, nature, and science, not to overwhelm the mind, but to calm it. Tonight, we begin with storms, not as something dangerous, not as something loud or frightening, but as something ancient, rhythmic, and deeply natural. Storms are not chaos. They are balance in motion. When the sky begins to breathe, it is simply the atmosphere doing what it has always done. High above the ground, warm air slowly rises. It does not rush. It does not force its way upward. It lifts gently because warm air is lighter. Below it, cooler air settles downward, heavier, calmer, returning toward the earth. This slow exchange is one of the most fundamental movements on our planet. Upward, downward, expansion, release. Storms are born from this quiet conversation between warmth and coolness, between ocean and sky, between sunlight and shadow. Nothing here is accidental. Nothing is in a hurry. You may have heard storms described as violent, but from a scientific perspective, they are careful systems responding to imbalance, restoring equilibrium. When too much heat builds in one place, the atmosphere begins to move it elsewhere. When moisture gathers, it must eventually return to the surface. Storms are the way Earth redistributes energy, slowly, patiently, endlessly. As you listen, you do not need to picture danger. Instead, imagine scale. Vast distance, enormous skies, clouds drifting over oceans and continents, far above human concerns. In that scale, daily worries become very small, deadlines soften, tensions loosen their grip. At this moment, you are safe. The storms we speak of tonight exist far above rooftops, far beyond schedules, far from the edges of your thoughts. You are simply observing, as if watching weather from orbit, where everything appears slower, smoother, and more connected. Let your breathing follow the atmosphere. Inhale slowly as warm air rises. Exhale gently as cool air settles. There is no correct rhythm, just a gradual easing. Storms begin long before thunder, long before rain, long before lightning. They begin quietly, with invisible motion, with tiny changes in temperature and pressure that no human senses directly. Molecules drift apart, air expands, water vapor becomes restless, the sky prepares itself. In near silence, most of the time, we never notice this preparation. It happens above us, while we go about our days. But tonight, there is nothing else to do, except notice. And noticing, without judgment, is deeply relaxing. Think of a storm not as an event, but as a process. A long, slow story written in air and water. The sun warms the ocean releases vapor, the vapor rises. Clouds form, energy shifts. Each step follows the last, without urgency. Even the most powerful storms are made from countless gentle motions, layered together over time. Just as sleep is not sudden, but arrives through stages, storms also take their time, and just like sleep, they begin quietly. At Sleep Science Fact, we often explore how the universe moves, without intention, without emotion, and yet with astonishing harmony. Storms are part of that harmony. They do not know fear, they do not know purpose. They simply respond to physical laws that have existed for billions of years. There is comfort in that. It means nothing is personal, nothing is directed at you. Nothing is wrong. The sky moves because it must, just as your body grows tired because it needs rest. If your day was heavy, let it remain outside this space. If your thoughts feel crowded, there is no need to push them away. They will slow down on their own, given enough stillness. Science helps with this, because science replaces worry with wonder. Instead of thinking about tomorrow, you begin thinking about clouds. Instead of replaying conversations, you imagine air currents drifting silently across the planet. Curiosity is calm, wonder is gentle, and both lead naturally towards sleep. As storms form, they draw invisible lines across the sky, boundaries between warm and cool air, edges where motion begins. These boundaries are soft, they shift, they dissolve and reform. Nothing remains fixed. This is important to remember, especially at night. No feeling is permanent. No tension lasts forever. Everything moves, and everything eventually settles. In the upper atmosphere, clouds stretch wide and thin, their edges illuminated faintly by distant light. They drift, slowly changing shape, never holding one form for long. Watching clouds has calmed humans. For as long as humans have existed, there is no task involved, no outcome to achieve, only motion without demand. Storm clouds are simply clouds with energy, and energy, when spread across enough space, becomes peaceful again. Tonight's journey is not about intensity, it is about understanding. When you understand storms, they lose their sharp edges. They become systems, processes, movements in a larger whole. And when the mind understands, it relaxes. Because fear comes from uncertainty, and calm comes from clarity. We will move slowly. We will pause often. Nothing will arrive suddenly. There is no need to stay awake. There is no need to follow every word. Your mind can drift. Your attention can soften. Your body can rest. As the sky breathes, you may notice your own breathing becoming quieter. Your shoulders may lower slightly. Your jaw may relax. Your eyelids may feel heavier. This is natural. The nervous system responds to rhythm, and storms, at their core, are rhythmic. Rising air, falling air, condensing vapor, releasing rain, a slow cycle, repeating endlessly across the planet. Before we continue deeper into the science of storms, take one last gentle breath. In, slow, unforced. Out, long, easy. You are welcome here. You are safe here. May your thoughts become lighter. May your body feel supported. May your sleep, when it arrives, be deep and uninterrupted. This is Sleep Science Fact, and this is where the sky begins to breathe. As we continue, there is no need to wake up your attention. You have already entered the rhythm of the sky, the slow breathing of the atmosphere that we began to notice together. Now, within that vast calm, we gently approach something that sounds intense, but is, in truth, very brief and very quiet. Lightning, not as danger, not as threat, but as a momentary expression of balance. Lightning is often described as powerful, but power, in nature, does not always mean disruption. Sometimes, power lasts for less than a heartbeat. For a fraction of a second, lightning heats the air around it to temperatures hotter than the surface of the Sunday. This sounds dramatic until we notice how quickly it passes. Almost immediately, the air cools again. The sky returns to stillness. The moment is over. A brief flash of extreme heat inside an otherwise calm system. It is important to understand scale. Lightning does not heat the sky. It does not warm the clouds. It does not change the weather. It is a tiny, temporary event inside an enormous atmosphere, like a single spark inside a very large, very dark room. Seen from afar, it is only a blink. In the previous part, we spoke about how the sky breathes. Warm air rises, cool air sinks. Energy moves gently, seeking balance. Lightning is part of that process. It happens when energy has slowly gathered in different places and needs a brief pathway to equalize. Not violently, not angrily, simply efficiently. Inside storm clouds, tiny particles of ice and water drift and collide. These collisions happen softly, again and again, over long periods of time. Some particles gain a slight positive charge, others gain a slight negative charge. No sound is made, no light appears. The cloud is quietly organizing energy without intention, without urgency. Over time, these small differences accumulate. The top of the cloud becomes charged differently than the bottom. The ground below, responding to the cloud above, also shifts its electrical balance. All of this happens slowly, invisibly, while the storm itself remains calm from within. Lightning does not arrive suddenly. It is prepared gently. When the difference becomes large enough, the atmosphere offers a path. A channel forms. For an instant, energy flows, and during that instant, the air along the path heats extremely fast, faster than anything else in nature. So fast that the air cannot move out of the way. It expands. Suddenly, then, just as quickly, it cools. This rapid expansion and cooling is what later becomes thunder. But thunder, like lightning, is not a sign of danger here. It is simply sound created by motion, a wave rolling outward, softening as it travels. By the time thunder reaches you, it is already calm. Lightning itself is over, before the mind can react. It does not linger. It does not stay. It flashes, balances energy, and disappears. The sky does not hold on to it. This is one of the most soothing truths about lightning. It cannot continue. Even the most intense lightning strike lasts less than a second. In the context of Earth's atmosphere, this is almost nothing. Clouds exist for hours. Storm systems last days. The atmosphere moves endlessly. Lightning is a whisper inside a very long conversation. As you listen, there is no need to picture brightness. You can imagine lightning instead as a soft line of light, seen from very far away, muted, distant, contained. Seen from space, lightning is barely noticeable. Seen from the planet's scale, it is insignificant. And this perspective matters. Our minds tend to magnify intensity when we feel tired or stressed. Work deadlines, responsibilities, unfinished thoughts. They can feel like lightning, sharp and overwhelming. But science reminds us that even the most intense moments are brief. They pass, they release energy, and then dissolve, just like lightning. Notice how the sky never holds on to heat. Even when lightning briefly becomes hotter than the sun, the air immediately cools. The atmosphere does not cling. It does not resist change. It allows energy to move through and then returns to balance. This is something the human nervous system can learn from. You do not need to hold tension. You do not need to store stress. Release can be fast. Recovery can be immediate. As you breathe now, you may notice a subtle shift. Your thoughts may be slowing. Your body may feel heavier. This is not because of lightning. It is because understanding removes fear, and calm understanding naturally leads toward rest. Lightning does not choose where to strike. It does not aim. It does not decide. It follows physics. It follows gradients. It follows the easiest path available. There is no intention involved. This means nothing is personal. The sky is not reacting to you. Nature is not watching you. Everything is simply responding to conditions. And conditions are always changing. If your day felt intense, remember how brief lightning truly is. Even the hottest moment cannot sustain itself. The system corrects, balance returns, and after lightning, the storm often grows quieter. Energy has been released. Many people find comfort in watching distant lightning at night. Not the sound, not the closeness, but the soft illumination of clouds, slowly glowing and fading. There is no urgency in watching. You are not required to respond. You are simply witnessing, energy moving where it needs to go. Tonight, you are allowed to do the same. Let energy move. Let thoughts pass through. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to solve them. Like lightning, they can flash briefly and disappear. The sky does not become tired from producing lightning. The atmosphere does not weaken. Everything continues as before. In the same way, rest does not erase who you are. Sleep does not make you less capable. It restores balance. As we move forward in this journey through storms, remember this quiet truth. Even the most extreme heat can exist peacefully when it lasts only a moment, and moments always pass. If your eyes are heavy now, that is welcome. If your thoughts are drifting, that is perfect. You do not need to remember how hot lightning can be. You only need to remember how quickly it fades. The sky breathes, energy moves, balance returns. And somewhere beneath all of that, you are safe, supported, and slowly moving toward rest. We will continue gently, without urgency, into the next calm layer of the storm. Now that we have seen how lightning flashes and fades, how even extreme heat passes almost instantly, we can rest inside a deeper understanding of storms. Thunderstorms are not moments of chaos. They are moments of storage, of patience, of quiet preparation. A thunderstorm is not something that suddenly appears. It is something that has been slowly forming, often for hours, sometimes for an entire day. The energy inside a thunderstorm does not come from violence. It does not come from conflict. It comes from warmth, specifically from warm, moist air. Air that has been gently heated by the surface of the earth. Air that has absorbed water vapor from lakes, rivers, and oceans. Air that has quietly become lighter than the air around it. And so, without force, it begins to rise. This rising motion is slow, almost unnoticeable. There is no sound when warm air begins to lift. No warning, no signal. It simply moves upward, following the same calm physics that guide clouds across the sky. This is how energy begins to gather, not in a rush, not in a surge, but like a tide. As warm air rises, it carries moisture with it, and as it rises higher, the air cools gently. Cooling air cannot hold as much water vapor, so that vapor slowly condenses. Tiny droplets form, microscopic crystals appear. This process releases heat, not suddenly, not explosively, just enough to keep the air floating upward. This is one of the most important ideas in understanding storms. A thunderstorm feeds itself slowly. The more the air rises, the more heat is released. The more heat is released, the longer the air can continue rising. This feedback loop happens quietly, layer by layer, minute by minute. There is no single moment when a thunderstorm decides to exist. There is only gradual accumulation. Energy stored in warm air, energy stored in moisture, energy stored in height. By the time clouds grow tall and dark, most of the work has already been done. Inside a developing thunderstorm, energy is not moving outward. It is waiting. Waiting inside towering clouds. Waiting inside rising columns of air. Waiting inside countless droplets and ice crystals. This waiting is important. It allows balance to form. In daily life, we often associate stored energy with tension. We imagine pressure building, needing to explode. But in nature, stored energy is often calm. A stretched bow, a lifted tide, a growing cloud. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is urgent. The storm cloud grows taller, not wider. It reaches upward into colder layers of the atmosphere. At the top, the air can no longer rise. It spreads out gently, forming the familiar anvil shape. This is not collapse. This is completion. At this stage, The thunderstorm is full, not angry, not unstable, just full. Energy is present in different forms, in different places, all within the same system. And now, movement can begin. But movement does not mean explosion. Inside the storm, air flows upward in some regions and downward in others. Raindrops fall, ice crystals drift, cold air slowly sinks. This circulation is smooth, continuous, and mostly invisible. The storm is not releasing all its energy at once. It releases it gradually, through rain, through wind, through occasional lightning. Each release reduces imbalance. Each moment brings the system closer to rest. This is why thunderstorms rarely last forever. They consume the conditions that created them. As warm air is used, as moisture falls as rain, as heat is redistributed, the storm gently weakens. It does not collapse. It simply finishes. Think about how comforting this is. A system that knows when to stop. A system that does not demand endless input. A system that naturally moves toward balance. This is the opposite of stress. Stress, in human life, often comes from energy that has nowhere to go, thoughts that cannot resolve, tasks that never end, expectations without release. Storms remind us that energy must move, and when it does, calm follows. The rain from a thunderstorm is one of the most peaceful forms of release. Each drop carries energy back to the surface. Each drop cools the air. Each drop softens the land. Rain is not aggressive. It does not rush. It falls, guided by gravity, at its own pace. After rain begins, the storm is already relaxing. The hardest work is over. The sky has begun to exhale. Thunderstorms also move. They drift with the winds that carry them. They travel slowly across landscapes. They do not chase. They do not pursue. They pass through. As a thunderstorm moves away, the air behind it feels different. Cooler, cleaner, calmer. This is not coincidence. Energy has been redistributed. Balance has been restored. Many people find thunderstorms soothing. When viewed from a place of safety, the distant rumble, the steady rain, the slow flashing light far away. These sounds and sights signal that energy is being handled, that the system is working. Your nervous system understands this, even if your conscious mind does not. Low-frequency sounds, like thunder, can feel grounding. Repetitive rain sounds can slow the heart rate. The body recognizes patterns of resolution. This is why storms are often used as background sounds for sleep. Not because they are exciting, but because they demonstrate release. They show tension moving out of the system. As you listen now, you may notice your breathing becoming slower. You may feel less urgency to hold on to thoughts. This is natural. Your body is responding to the rhythm of balance. Remember that the energy in a thunderstorm came from warmth and moisture. Two gentle things. Not from force, not from conflict. And the release of that energy comes through rain and wind. Two soft movements. Nothing in the storm is wasted. Heat becomes motion. Motion becomes rain. Rain becomes nourishment. Even the strongest storms serve quiet purposes. You do not need to fear stored energy. Stored energy is potential. It is readiness. It is possibility. And when the time is right, it moves calmly. If your day felt heavy, like energy was trapped inside you, you can imagine that weight as warm air slowly rising. No effort required, no force needed, just gentle movement. You do not need to resolve everything tonight. Storms do not resolve everything at once. They release what they can, and then they fade. Rest does the same. As this part comes to a close, you can let the image of a thunderstorm become softer, the rain lighter, the clouds thinner. The energy is moving on. The sky has done its work, and now, so can you. There is nothing left to manage, nothing left to hold, only the quiet space, that follows release. We will continue gently into the next calm layer of understanding as the storm keeps settling and rest moves closer. After understanding how storms store energy and how that energy moves slowly rather than exploding, we can now rest our attention on one of the quietest processes hidden inside a storm. Hail does not begin as something large. It does not fall suddenly into existence. Hail begins as something very small, so small that it is almost weightless. Inside a tall storm cloud, tiny droplets of water are lifted upward. They rise gently, carried by slow, invisible currents of air. As they rise higher, the air around them becomes colder. Not sharply colder, just gradually cooler. At a certain height, those tiny droplets freeze. They become small pieces of ice, no larger than grains of sand. This is the beginning of a hailstone. Nothing dramatic happens. No noise, no force, just a change of state. Once frozen, the tiny ice particle does not immediately fall. Updrafts inside the cloud carry it upward again. This motion is not violent. It is repetitive. Up, pause, down a little, up again. Each time the ice particle moves, it passes through slightly different layers of the cloud. Some layers are filled with supercooled water droplets, liquid water that is still fluid, even below freezing temperatures. When the ice particle touches these droplets, the droplets freeze onto its surface. This is how a hailstone grows. Not all at once, not quickly, but layer by layer. A thin shell of ice forms, then another, then another. Each layer represents a journey, a rise into colder air, a drift into wetter regions, a slow return downward. This cycle can repeat many times, and with each repetition, the hailstone becomes slightly larger. If we could cut a hailstone in half, we would see its history. Rings of ice, clear layers, cloudy layers. Much like the rings inside a tree trunk, each layer tells a story of where it has been. This process is deeply rhythmic. The hailstone does not decide to grow. It simply responds to the movement of the air around it. Growth happens because motion repeats. This is why hailstones can be smooth, or rough, or layered with alternating textures. They are shaped by patience, not by urgency. Even large hailstones, the ones that seem impressive from a distance, began as something barely visible. Their size is not a result of force, but of time. This idea can feel comforting. In daily life, we often think that big outcomes require big actions. But hailstones remind us that repetition can be enough. Small changes, applied again and again, can shape something solid. Inside the storm, there is no rush to complete the hailstone. The cloud does not hurry. If conditions change, the hailstone stops growing. If the updraft weakens, it begins its final descent. When a hailstone eventually falls, it is not because it failed. It is because the cycle is complete. Gravity gently takes over. Even then, the falling motion is brief. Compared to the long time spent growing, most of a hailstone's existence is spent floating, circling, waiting. This is an important contrast. From the ground, hail can seem sudden, but from inside the cloud, it is slow. Perspective changes everything. As you imagine hailstones forming, you can picture them suspended in dim, quiet air. No sound, no sharp edges, just layers forming in soft repetition. The storm around them continues its work. Energy moves upward in some places. Energy settles downward in others. But inside the hailstone, nothing is urgent. Only accumulation. There is a lesson here for tired minds. You do not need to finish everything tonight. Progress does not need to be dramatic. Sometimes, simply returning to the same gentle motion is enough. Breathing is like this. Each breath is small, almost insignificant on its own, but repeated, it sustains life. the hailstone grows in the same quiet way. Each layer is thin, each layer is light, but together they create form. Inside a storm, hailstones move without sound. They do not collide violently. They drift past each other. The cloud is spacious. There is room for everything. Eventually, when the upward currents weaken, the hailstone begins to fall. Not as a failure, but as a transition. Its journey changes direction, from floating to returning, from being shaped to being released. Even this release is not aggressive inside the cloud. The hailstone simply follows gravity, the same force that keeps oceans in place, that holds air close to the earth, now guides ice downward. In the larger story of the storm, hail is only a small chapter. It does not define the system. It is simply one way. That moisture and energy change form. The storm does not cling to the hailstone. Once released, it continues without it. Balance remains. This is another reminder that letting go is natural. Nothing is meant to stay suspended forever. As you listen now, you may notice your thoughts slowing. The repetitive nature of growth, the steady layering, can quiet mental noise. You do not need to analyze every thought. Thoughts, like ice layers, can come and go. What matters is the rhythm beneath them. Storms know this rhythm. They build, they repeat, they release. Hailstones are not accidents. They are expressions of order within complexity. Even in a powerful storm, some processes remain gentle. Some processes exist only to repeat quietly. You can rest in that idea. Power does not always mean speed. Strength does not always mean force. Sometimes, strength is simply consistency. As this part comes to an end, you can imagine the hailstones completing their slow cycles, some falling away, others melting before they ever reach the ground. Nothing wasted. The storm continues, but its energy is already lowering. Movement becomes softer. Cycles begin to wind down. We will continue forward gently, leaving behind the layered ice, carrying with us the calm understanding that even in active systems, some things grow slowly, quietly, and without urgency. Rest can grow the same way. After watching hail grow slowly, layer by layer, inside a storm that never rushes, we can now step back and look at the storm as a whole, not as a single event, not as one dramatic moment, but as a system. A storm system is not one movement. It is many movements happening together. Some are large, some are small, some rise, some settle. All of them respond to the same atmosphere. In certain conditions, a large storm system can produce multiple rotating motions. These motions may appear separate, but they are connected. They are part of the same breathing pattern of the sky. This does not mean chaos. It means structure. When warm air meets cooler air, the boundary between them becomes active. Not violently, but dynamically. Energy shifts position. Momentum redistributes. Inside a large storm, air does not move randomly. It follows paths shaped by temperature, humidity, and the slow rotation of the earth. Some of these paths curve gently, others tighten slightly. When rotation becomes organized, a smaller rotating column can form within the larger system. This is how multiple rotating motions can appear in one storm, not as accidents, not as surprise, but as expressions of balance being adjusted. It helps to imagine the storm as a wide, slow river. Within that river, there are small eddies. The river itself remains steady. The eddies form where conditions allow. Each small rotation is temporary. It exists only as long as the surrounding flow supports it. When conditions change, the rotation fades. Nothing is forced to continue. This idea is important. Storm systems do not cling to any single structure. They adapt. They let go. From far above, the storm looks calm. Clouds spread smoothly. Movement is gradual. The complexity exists inside, not on the surface. This mirrors many things in life. From the outside, a day can look ordinary. Inside, many small thoughts, concerns, and adjustments may be happening at once. The storm does not judge these movements. It allows them. In a large storm system, multiple rotations are not competing. They are sharing space. Each one draws energy gently from the larger flow. No single motion dominates for long. This sharing keeps the system stable. If energy builds too much in one place, it redistributes. Balance is always being restored. This is why meteorologists describe storms as self-organizing systems. They arrange themselves based on simple rules. Warm air rises, cool air sinks, moisture condenses, heat is released. From these simple processes, complex patterns emerge, not because the system is wild, but because it is responsive. Inside such a system, nothing moves faster than needed. Even rotation develops gradually. It strengthens only when supported by the environment. This gradual development is calming to consider. Nothing sudden, nothing impulsive. If one rotating motion weakens, another may appear elsewhere. The system does not panic, it adjusts. This flexibility is a form of intelligence, not conscious intelligence, but natural efficiency. Storms are very good at releasing excess energy. They do not store tension indefinitely. When energy builds, movement forms. When energy decreases, movement fades. This is another quiet lesson. Holding tension too long is not natural. Release is part of balance. As you listen, you might notice how your own thoughts sometimes spin gently. One thought leads to another. Worries form small loops. This does not mean something is wrong. It means energy is moving. Like the storm, your mind responds to changes in pressure, work stress, daily responsibilities, unfinished plans. The goal is not to stop all movement. The goal is to allow movement to soften. Storm systems do this naturally. As night progresses, the atmosphere often stabilizes. Temperature differences lessen. Air becomes heavier, more settled. Rotations weaken. The system stretches out, becoming broader, less focused. This transition is gentle. There is no switch, only gradual easing. You can imagine the storm system slowly exhaling, wide clouds drifting, air flows smoothing. The smaller rotations dissolve back into the whole. Nothing breaks, nothing collapses. Everything simply returns to a quieter state. This return is inevitable. No storm sustains complexity forever. As you rest now, you do not need to follow every movement. You can allow the system to continue without attention. The atmosphere knows how to organize itself. Your body does too. Breathing slows, muscles soften, thoughts lose their edges. The storm above, with all its layered processes, continues its work, but it does not require you. You are allowed to step back, to observe without effort. Multiple movements do not mean danger. They mean adaptation. Complexity does not mean instability. Often, it means resilience. The storm adjusts, and so can you. As this section settles, the image of many small rotations within one large system begins to fade. What remains is the sense of a vast structure, capable of holding many motions without strain. In the next part, we will continue to follow how storms release energy on an even larger scale. But for now, you can rest in the understanding that even the most complex systems are guided by simple, calming rules. Nothing is rushing. Nothing is out of control. The sky is breathing. After exploring how large storm systems hold many small movements without losing balance, we can now follow the energy even deeper, downward, into the ocean. The ocean is not just water. It is a vast reservoir of stored warmth. Sunlight touches the surface, day after day, season after season. The water remembers this heat. Unlike land, the ocean does not heat quickly, and it does not cool quickly. It absorbs energy slowly. It releases energy slowly. This patience is essential. When a storm system moves over warm ocean water, nothing dramatic happens at first. The sea does not react suddenly. It simply continues to release heat the way it always has. Warm water allows moisture to rise into the air, not in bursts, but in a steady lift. Invisible vapor leaves the surface and drifts upward. This upward movement is gentle. You could imagine it as a slow breath rising from the ocean. As water vapor ascends, it begins to cool. Cooling is not failure. Cooling is transformation. When vapor cools, it condenses into tiny droplets. This process releases heat. Not heat you can feel, but latent heat. Hidden heat, latent heat, is energy stored quietly inside water molecules. It waits patiently until the moment of condensation. When it is released, the surrounding air warms slightly. Warm air becomes lighter. Lighter air rises. And so, the cycle continues. Warm ocean, rising vapor, condensation, released heat. This is the engine of a hurricane, not violence, circulation. A hurricane is not fueled by wind alone. It is powered by the ocean's memory of the Sunday. The ocean gives energy without resistance. The atmosphere receives it without urgency. As air rises near the center of the system, it creates space below. Air flows inward to fill that space. This inward flow begins to curve. Due to Earth's rotation, the curve is slow. Nothing snaps into place. Rotation develops. Over time, what matters here is not speed. It is continuity. The hurricane maintains itself as long as this exchange continues. Ocean to air, air upward, heat released, energy redistributed. At no point is energy trapped. At no point is pressure held too tightly. This is why hurricanes lose strength over land, not because they are punished, but because the energy source changes. Land does not provide the same steady warmth. Moisture decreases. The cycle slows. Without warm water below, the system gently weakens. This weakening is natural, expected. The hurricane does not struggle to survive. It simply responds to new conditions. This responsiveness is calming to understand. Even the largest storms are dependent on quiet, consistent support. Nothing exists in isolation. The ocean does not exhaust itself by giving heat. It has stored this energy over long periods. Release is part of its balance. This long-term view is important. The ocean thinks in seasons, not moments. Similarly, stress in human life often builds slowly. Work pressure, responsibility, expectations. Like ocean heat, this energy accumulates quietly, not all at once. Problems arise when energy is not allowed to circulate, when it is held without release. Storms show us a different approach. Energy rises, transforms, returns. After condensation, rain eventually falls. Water returns to the surface. The loop completes itself. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. This loop can repeat many times without strain. Hurricanes may last days, sometimes longer, but they are never permanent. Their structure is sustained only while conditions align. When alignment fades, the system relaxes. This relaxation is not collapse, it is rest. As the storm weakens, clouds spread outward, winds slow, rain softens. Energy disperses over a wider area. Intensity decreases. The system exhales. This exhalation is inevitable. No storm holds its breath forever. Listening to this now, you may notice your own breath becoming slower. Your body understands cycles. Inhale, exhale, tension, release. You do not need to force relaxation, just allow circulation. The ocean does not push heat upward, it offers it. The atmosphere does not demand energy, it receives it. This mutual exchange creates stability. As night deepens, ocean surfaces cool slightly. Heat release slows. Storms often weaken. Darkness supports calm. In this way, nighttime itself is a regulating force. The planet rests in phases. So do you. If your mind still feels warm with thoughts, you can let them rise gently. No need to solve them. No need to stop them. Allow condensation. Allow release. Just as the ocean trusts the cycle, you can trust your body's rhythms. Sleep is not something you must chase. It is something that arrives. When conditions soften, warmth settles, thoughts drift, breathing deepens. The storm between ocean and sky continues its quiet exchange, but it no longer needs your attention. You can remain at the edge of awareness, watching without effort. In the next section, we will move even higher, following how storms interact with the upper atmosphere. But for now, you can rest. Inside this slow, circular flow, nothing urgent remains. Nothing demands action. The ocean remembers the Sunday. The sky remembers the ocean. And you, for this moment, can simply rest between them. From the slow exchange between warm oceans and rising air, the storm continues its quiet journey upward. Not outward, not faster. Upward, above the surface winds, above the rain-filled clouds, there is another region of the sky. Higher, thinner, quieter. This is where some storms reach their highest point, not in urgency, but in completion. Storm clouds do not climb endlessly. They rise until the atmosphere itself gently says, "This is far enough." Warm air rises through the troposphere, the lowest layer of the atmosphere, where weather lives and moves. As it ascends, the air expands. Expansion brings cooling. Cooling slows the rise. Eventually, the rising air meets a boundary, a place where the atmosphere changes character. This boundary is called the tropopause. It is the soft ceiling of weather. Above it lies the stratosphere, calmer, more stable, less interested in motion. When powerful storm clouds reach this boundary, they cannot push through easily. They do not break it. They rest against it. The rising air spreads sideways, outward, slowly. This spreading creates the familiar anvil shape at the top of large storm clouds. Seen from afar, it looks like a vast, flat roof placed gently across the sky. There is no struggle in this shape, only adaptation. The storm has reached its natural height. Now it widens. This widening is important. It signals a pause. The vertical movement slows. The storm stops climbing. Energy no longer rushes upward. Instead, it settles into balance. The anvil top marks the moment when upward motion becomes stillness. From below, the cloud seems to stretch endlessly. From above, the stratosphere remains undisturbed. This quiet agreement between layers of the atmosphere is peaceful to imagine. Nothing forces entry. Nothing resists harshly. The storm respects the boundary. The boundary holds gently. This interaction is one of the most calming visuals in meteorology. A towering cloud, reaching its limit, and then resting. For the human mind, this image is powerful. Many of our thoughts rise. In the same way, work, concerns, plans, unfinished tasks, they build upward, layer by layer, during the day. If left unchecked, they seem endless. But the mind, like the atmosphere, has natural boundaries. When allowed, thoughts can spread out. Instead of climbing higher, they lose intensity. They become diffuse. The anvil cloud is not the most violent part of a storm. It is the most balanced. Here, motion slows, sound fades, pressure equalizes. High above the ground, temperatures are extremely cold, yet the scene feels calm. Cold does not mean harsh. Cold can mean quiet. The stratosphere itself is remarkably stable. Air there moves slowly. Vertical motion is rare. This stability is why storms stop rising. The environment simply does not support continued ascent. In life, stress often persists because there is no boundary. Deadlines extend. Responsibilities overlap. Mental space feels unlimited. In the wrong way, the image of storm clouds touching the stratosphere reminds us that limits are natural, healthy. Rest is not failure, it is arrival. When the storm spreads outward, it releases energy gradually. No sharp edges, no sudden drops. Clouds thin, ice crystals drift, light scatters softly. From satellites, these anvils glow faintly, catching sunlight at the edge of space. From the ground, they create a sense of vastness. This vastness is calming. Looking up at a storm anvil, the mind cannot hold on to small worries. The scale is too large. The motion is too slow. The brain shifts from problem solving to observation. This shift is exactly what helps sleep begin. The nervous system relaxes when it senses wide, open space. The sky at this height feels endless, yet nothing is moving quickly. Nothing is demanding attention. Just layers of air stacked gently, each with its own rhythm. The storm has done what it needed to do. Now it rests against the ceiling of weather. Rain may still fall below, winds may still move, but above there is calm. This vertical contrast is soothing. It tells the body that intensity does not fill all space. Even within active systems, there are quiet zones. The stratosphere is like a deep breath, held softly, not tense, not forced, just present. As night approaches, storm tops cool further. Their outlines soften, edges blur, movement becomes subtle. At this point, the storm's story is no longer about power. It is about scale. Scale invites humility, and humility quiets the mind. You may imagine yourself lying beneath this wide sky, protected, unrushed. Your thoughts can spread outward instead of piling upward. They can become thinner, lighter. No need to resolve them now. The storm cloud has reached its height. So can you. There is nothing above you that needs to be conquered. Only space, only stillness. In the next section, we will gently return to motion again, exploring rotation and speed. But for now, you can remain here, at the top of the cloud, where the sky opens wide and then grows still. Nothing presses down, nothing pulls upward, just a quiet balance between layers of air, between effort and rest, between thought and sleep. Above the storm, everything had become wide and still. At the ceiling of weather, motion slowed, spread out, and rested. Now, far below that quiet height, the atmosphere does something different. Not louder, not angrier, just faster. A tornado is not created by intention. It is not a decision. It is simply motion. finding the easiest path. Air moves from where pressure is higher to where pressure is lower. This is all it ever does. When conditions align, that movement becomes focused, narrow, spinning. The speed can become extreme, faster than race cars, faster than highway winds, faster than anything we experience daily. Yet speed, by itself, does not mean urgency. Inside a tornado, air is not rushing toward a goal. It is circulating, moving because movement is allowed. The rotation forms gradually. Warm air rises, cool air sinks. Wind shear bends the flow sideways. Nothing sudden, nothing forced. Layer by layer, the motion tightens, like water swirling slowly as it drains. At first, the spin is broad and gentle, barely noticeable. Only later does it become visible. The funnel appears, not as a strike, but as a condensation of motion, invisible air, made visible by pressure and moisture. To the mind, the word tornado often carries fear, but fear comes from unpredictability, not from the physics itself. From a scientific view, a tornado is remarkably honest. It does exactly what the equations allow, nothing more. The air does not know what it passes over. It does not choose. It does not aim. It simply responds. Inside the funnel, winds spiral around a low-pressure center. They are not moving forward aggressively. They are circling. This circular motion is important. It means the air is not racing ahead. It is turning inward, again and again. Rotation is a form of containment. Even at high speed, the movement remains local. This is why damage from tornadoes can be strangely selective. One house untouched, another nearby affected, not because of intention, but because of paths of least resistance. The air takes whatever route requires the least effort. In the context of stress, this matters. Many people associate speed with pressure. Fast days, fast thoughts, fast expectations. But speed does not always mean strain. In the atmosphere, speed often appears. When resistance is low, the tornado exists because the air can move freely, not because it is being pushed harder. This idea can be calming. High-speed motion does not always require force. Sometimes it is simply flow. The funnel's shape is narrow, focused, but around it, the environment is larger. Rain falls, clouds drift. The storm continues its broader rhythm. The tornado is not the storm. It is a small expression within it. This perspective reduces intensity. The mind stops imagining total chaos. Instead, it sees structure, order within motion. From a distance, the funnel appears smooth, almost graceful. Its edges are not sharp. They blur. Dust, water droplets, and debris outline the airflow. But the air itself is invisible. Most of the motion cannot be seen. This invisibility reminds us that much of life's movement happens quietly. Thoughts spin, emotions circulate, stress cycles repeat. Often, they move quickly, without purpose. Not because something is wrong, but because space is available. The tornado does not accelerate endlessly. Eventually, conditions change. The temperature difference weakens. Wind shear relaxes. The rotation loosens. The funnel thins. Motion disperses back into the wider atmosphere. Nothing dramatic. No final moment. Just a gradual release. This ending is important. It shows that even the fastest motions are temporary. The atmosphere does not hold on to speed. It returns to balance. For the nervous system, this is reassuring. Fast thoughts do not last forever. They arise, spin for a while, and dissolve. No intervention required. No control necessary. Simply allowing space often lets motion pass on its own. The contrast between content 7 and content 8 is intentional. Above, stillness at the boundary of the sky. Below, speed within limits. Both exist simultaneously. The atmosphere does not choose one state. It holds many. Your mind can do the same. You can notice fast thoughts. Without following them, you can let them circle until they lose energy. There is no need to stop them. They will slow when conditions soften. As the night deepens, the atmosphere cools. Surface heating fades. The ingredients for rotation weaken. Motion becomes less organized. The storm begins its long return to quiet, and so can you. There is nothing you need to solve tonight. No target to reach. Just motion, finding its easiest path, then letting go. In the next section, we will explore how storms create electricity, a process that sounds intense but unfolds slowly through countless gentle collisions. For now, rest with this idea. Speed does not equal danger. Motion does not require meaning, and even the fastest winds eventually grow calm. After motion without intention, the atmosphere does something even more subtle. It begins to store. Nothing flashes yet. Nothing announces itself. Inside the cloud, far from the ground, everything is slow. Ice crystals drift. Hailstones rise and fall. Water droplets freeze, melt, and freeze again. Each movement is gentle. Each contact is brief. When ice touches ice, something invisible happens. Electric charge begins to separate. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just a quiet sorting. Some particles gain a slight positive charge. Others gain a slight negative one. No sound, no color, no sign. The cloud does not look different. From the outside, it remains soft and gray. Inside, it is becoming organized. This process takes time. Thousands of collisions, millions of tiny exchanges, each one insignificant on its own. Together, they slowly turn the cloud into a natural battery. There is no central control, no switch, no intention. Electric charge separates because physics allows it. Lighter ice crystals are carried upward. Heavier hailstones sink downward. This gentle sorting creates layers. Positive charge above, negative charge below. The cloud holds both, patiently. Nothing is released yet. This waiting phase is the most important. Most of the storm's life exists here, in preparation, in balance, in silence. Lightning is rare compared to the long, quiet build-up. For every flash, there are minutes, sometimes hours, of still accumulation. The mind often focuses only on the moment of light, but the calm before it is far longer. This mirrors human stress. We notice the outburst, the sharp thought, the sudden emotion, but not the long, quiet build-up beneath. Storm clouds show us that intensity is usually prepared slowly and slowly released. Inside the cloud, electric fields stretch. They do not snap. They lengthen like invisible threads. The air resists. Air is a poor conductor. It prefers stillness. So the charge continues to grow, patient, balanced, unseen. This balance can last a very long time. Nothing forces release. Only when the difference becomes large enough does the air finally give way. But that moment is brief. Before it, everything is quiet. From a distance, a storm cloud can look peaceful. Rounded edges, slow drift, muted colors. There is no sign of the invisible architecture inside. This reminds us that not all complexity looks busy. Not all energy looks loud. Sometimes, the most powerful systems appear calm. The cloud does not rush. It does not hurry the process. It allows physics to unfold at its own pace. There is no anxiety inside the storm, only readiness. When lightning finally occurs, it follows paths already prepared. channels of ionized air, routes of least resistance. Nothing random, nothing chaotic. Even the flash is guided. But the sound and light are not the essence of the process. They are just the release. The real work was done quietly. This perspective is grounding. It reframes storms, not as violent interruptions, but as slow systems that occasionally let go. The cloud never holds energy forever. Eventually, it releases. And then, it returns to neutrality. No memory, no residue, just balance, restored. For someone listening at night, this idea is soothing. Tension does not need to be forced out. It will release. When conditions soften, you do not need to trigger anything. You do not need to reach a breaking point. The nervous system, like the cloud, knows how to balance itself. Given time, given stillness, given space. Lightning may be bright, but it is not loud for long. The quiet before and after is much longer. As you listen now, there is no flash, only calm accumulation, breath by breath, thought by thought. Nothing needs to happen. In the next section, we will explore thunder itself, not as noise, but as a wave moving gently through air. For now, rest with the image of the cloud, soft, layered, holding energy without strain, a natural battery, waiting patiently, and slowly, without effort, returning to quiet. After the quiet charge inside the cloud, after the patient separation of energy, there is a release, but not an explosion. Thunder is not a blast. It is not a strike. It is a movement. When lightning passes through the air does not shatter. It expands very quickly. Then, just as gently, it relaxes again. This sudden expansion creates a wave, not a wall of sound, a ripple, a traveling disturbance, moving outward in all directions. Thunder is a shockwave, but not a violent one. It is simply air, adjusting to change. The lightning is already gone. By the time thunder arrives, what you hear is the atmosphere, slowly responding. The sound begins, along the entire lightning channel, not at one point, along a long, winding path through the sky. Each section of air expands at a slightly different moment. This is why thunder rolls. Not one sound, many overlapping echoes. They arrive at your ears at different times, stretched, softened, unfolding. Thunder does not rush. Even when it feels loud, it is already fading. Sound loses energy as it travels. It spreads, it thins, it bends around hills, trees, buildings. It reflects from clouds, from the ground, from layers of air at different temperatures. Each reflection slows it further. Each bounce softens the edge. This is why distant thunder sounds low and gentle. The sharp details are gone, only the long waves remain. Low frequencies travel farther. They curve around obstacles. They feel more like presence than noise, more like a vibration than a sound. This is why thunder can feel calming. When it is far away, it becomes a reminder that the atmosphere is deep, layered, alive. Sound moves through it, like a slow breath. The air itself becomes the instrument. There is no single direction. The wave expands outward, a growing circle of motion. At the center, everything is already quiet again. Thunder always moves away from its source, never toward it. This is important. The sound you hear is already leaving, already dissolving, already becoming part of the background. Thunder cannot linger. It must fade. Physics does not allow it to stay sharp. Even the loudest thunder is temporary. Seconds later, it is gone. This impermanence is part of its nature. The mind often reacts to sudden sound, but thunder, when understood, loses its edge. It is not an alarm. It is information moving through space, a record of a moment that has already passed. By the time you hear it, nothing is happening anymore. The storm has already moved on to its next quiet phase. Thunder teaches patience. It arrives after the event, and it leaves without effort. In some cultures, people find comfort in thunder, a low, rolling sound that matches a slow heartbeat, a reminder that the sky is large, that force is greater than us, moving gently overhead. For someone lying in bed, thunder becomes distant company, not intrusive, not demanding, just present. Its rhythm is irregular, but not chaotic. Pauses between sounds can last many minutes. The silence is always longer than the noise. This ratio matters. Silence dominates. Sound is the exception. Thunder never fills the night completely. It only passes through, like a wave touching the shore, then retreating. The brain responds well to this pattern. Sound followed by quiet, activity followed by rest. It mirrors the natural rhythm of the nervous system. Brief activation, then relaxation. As thunder fades, the air settles. Pressure equalizes. Temperature differences smooth out. The atmosphere returns to balance. Nothing is broken. Nothing is damaged. Only adjusted. Listening to thunder without fear changes its meaning. It becomes texture, depth, a sense of distance. You are not inside the storm. You are observing it from safety, wrapped in stillness. The sound travels over you, not toward you. It passes, then disappears. If your thoughts feel loud, remember this. Thoughts are like thunder. They arrive after something has already happened. They roll through awareness, then they fade. You do not need to chase them away. You do not need to analyze them. Let them travel. Let them lose shape. Let them dissolve into silence. The atmosphere always calms itself. The sky never holds sound forever. Neither does the mind. In the next section, we will explore how storms can create both flood and fire without contradiction. But for now, stay with the sound. A wave, a ripple, moving away, growing softer, until only quiet remains. And in that quiet, sleep finds its way in, naturally, after the sound has faded, after thunder has stretched itself thin and disappeared into distance. The storm does not end. It simply continues, in quieter ways. A storm is not one action. It is a system, a wide, slow-moving arrangement of air, water, temperature, and space. Within that system, many things can happen at once. Not in conflict, not in chaos, but in parallel. In one place, rain falls steadily, drop by drop, soaking the ground, cooling the surface, darkening the soil. In another place, within the very same storm, there is no rain at all, only lightning, dry lightning, flashes of energy that reach the ground without bringing moisture. The sky behaves differently over short distances because conditions are never exactly the same. Temperature changes with height. Humidity shifts with wind. Air moves upward here and downward there. A storm is a conversation between layers of the atmosphere. Each layer responds in its own way. This is why a single storm can cause flooding in one region and dryness in another. Not because the storm is confused, but because it is complex. Rain forms when rising air cools enough for water vapor to condense. But not all rising air contains the same amount of moisture. Some columns of air are rich with water, others are thin and dry. Lightning does not need rain. It only needs separation of charge. Ice and water particles collide inside clouds. Electrons shift, energy builds, and when the difference is large enough, the sky releases it. Sometimes that release is accompanied by rain. Sometimes it is not. Dry lightning often occurs. near the edges of storms, where rain evaporates before reaching the ground. The air below is warm. The drops fall, but disappear on the way down. What remains is only light and sound, and then silence again. This does not mean the storm is dangerous. It means it is selective, responsive, adjusting itself moment by moment. The same storm can water fields, cool cities, and light up distant hills without touching them. It is not deciding, it is following physics, pressure differences, temperature gradients, paths of least resistance. Nature does not aim, it responds. Flooding happens when rain falls faster than the ground can absorb. Water collects, streams rise, rivers widen. This is not aggression, it is accumulation. Elsewhere, where rain never arrives, the ground stays dry. Lightning may strike a tree, a rock, or open land. Sometimes it ignites fire. Sometimes it does nothing at all. The outcome depends on moisture, fuel, and timing. The storm provides energy. The land determines the response. This balance exists everywhere in nature. One cause, many effects, always shaped by local conditions. This idea is calming when applied beyond storms. Life works the same way. The same day can feel heavy for one person and peaceful for another. The same situation can lead to stress in one place and growth in another. Not because one is wrong, but because conditions differ. A storm does not judge where rain should fall. It does not choose where lightning lands. It moves, and the world responds. Understanding this softens the mind. It removes the idea that everything must feel the same everywhere. Variation is natural. Multiple outcomes from a single source are not a flaw. They are a feature of complex systems. When you listen to a storm at night, you are hearing only a fragment of a much larger picture. Far away, rain may be feeding forests. Elsewhere, lightning may be illuminating clouds. Somewhere else, nothing may be happening at all. The storm holds all of this. Without strain, it does not rush to resolve itself. It unfolds, slowly, silently. Most of its work is invisible. High above the ground, air rises and sinks. Moisture moves. Heat transfers. Energy spreads out until balance returns. Eventually, the storm weakens. Not suddenly, gradually. Rain becomes lighter. Lightning becomes rare. Clouds thin. The system releases what it was carrying. Then it dissolves. No single moment marks the end, just a gentle fading. This is how stress leaves the body as well. Not all at once. Not dramatically, but in stages. A deep breath, a loosened muscle, a quiet thought that no longer insists. The mind, like the atmosphere, can hold multiple states at once. Some thoughts rain down, others flash and vanish. Most simply pass through. You do not need to manage them all. You do not need to control the outcome. Let the system work. Let different responses exist. Rest does not require uniform calm. It only requires safety and distance. You are not inside the storm. You are listening from afar, sheltered, still. As this section ends, the storm continues to balance itself. In the next part, we will return to the quiet persistence of electrical activity across the planet. But for now, allow the idea to settle. One system, many outcomes, all temporary, all natural, and slowly, everything finds its way back to rest. After understanding that one storm can create many outcomes, it becomes easier to imagine something even larger. Not a single storm, not a single sky, but the entire planet breathing electrically. At any moment, somewhere on Earth, lightning is happening, not dramatically, not always loudly, often unnoticed. Every second, dozens of lightning flashes occur across the globe, over land, over ocean, above forests, inside clouds. No one is watching. By the time a day passes, millions of lightning strikes have already come and gone. They do not announce themselves. They do not wait to be seen. They simply occur, like a background rhythm, like a heartbeat, too steady to feel. Lightning is not rare. It is continuous. It is part of Earth's baseline activity. The planet is never electrically still. Even on calm nights, even under clear skies, electrical charge is moving, separating, reconnecting, equalizing. The atmosphere is not just air, it is a vast, moving conductor. Energy flows through it in subtle ways. Clouds drift, particles collide, charges separate by height, by temperature, by motion. Most of this process is invisible, silent, unfelt. Lightning is simply the brief moment when that invisible process becomes visible, a thin line of light, revealing a much larger system. Across the planet, different regions contribute to this electrical rhythm. Tropical areas, where warm air rises steadily, produce lightning more frequently. Oceans contribute through evaporation and towering clouds. Mountain ranges lift air upward, encouraging charge separation. Even remote regions, far from cities, play their part. No single place controls the flow. The system is distributed, balanced by scale. This is why lightning does not feel personal. It does not target. It does not aim. It follows gradients, differences in potential, paths of least resistance. Lightning is movement, seeking balance. And once balance is reached, it fades. The sound follows. Then quiet returns. But the system continues. Always. Just beneath awareness. This constancy can be deeply calming. It reminds the mind that energy does not build forever. It moves, it releases, it redistributes. Just like tension in the body, just like stress in the mind, you may feel pressure accumulate during the day. Thoughts collide, emotions rise, but release is part of the system, not something you must force. The earth does not try to stop lightning. It allows it. And through allowing it, balance is maintained. Even when storms feel intense, they are temporary expressions of a continuous process. Millions of lightning strikes do not overwhelm the planet. They stabilize it. They complete circuits. They close loops. They keep charge from accumulating endlessly. The planet knows how to regulate itself, slowly, automatically, without urgency. This perspective helps distance the listener from immediate worries. Your thoughts, like storms, are local events. The larger system is vast, stable, patient. Nothing you are carrying needs to be resolved tonight. Nothing needs to be concluded. Just as lightning does not happen all at once, rest does not arrive instantly. It arrives gradually, through repetition, through gentle release, breath by breath, thought by thought. Let the idea settle. While you rest, the planet continues its quiet electrical work. You are not required to participate. You are allowed to disconnect, to become still. While the system moves on, lightning will continue, whether you are awake or asleep. Storms will balance themselves. Without your attention, nothing depends on your vigilance. Nothing asks you to stay alert. You can let go. As this section comes to rest, the image to hold is not a flash of light, but a soft, steady pulse. A planet quietly equalizing itself again and again and again. In the next section, we will return to the ocean and the atmosphere and the gentle fuel that keeps storms alive. But for now, Allow the background rhythm to fade into calm. The earth is awake, so you don't have to be. You can rest. After sensing the constant electrical pulse of the planet, it becomes natural to look downward, away from the clouds, away from the lightning, toward the surface that quietly supports it all, the ocean. Most storms do not begin in the sky. They begin in warm water. Vast stretches of ocean absorb sunlight every day. Slowly, patiently, the surface warms by fractions of a degree, not enough to notice, but enough to matter. Warm water holds energy, not as motion, not as sound, but as potential. Molecules move slightly faster. Evaporation increases. Invisible water vapor rises gently into the air. This rise is calm, unforced, continuous. The ocean does not rush. It offers energy at its own pace. As warm, moist air rises, pressure shifts. Clouds begin to form, not suddenly, layer by layer. What we call a storm is often just the atmosphere responding to warmth below. Storms are not invaders. They are participants. They are part of a slow feedback loop. Warm ocean feeds the storm. The storm responds. Wind increases. Clouds thicken. Rain begins to fall. As rain falls, heat is released upward. The ocean surface cools. Waves stir deeper water. Cooler layers rise. Warmth spreads out. The fuel source weakens. The storm, having used the energy, begins to fade. Not because it failed, but because it succeeded. This cycle is quiet wisdom. Energy is borrowed. Energy is returned. Balance is restored. Again and again and again. Nothing here is aggressive. Nothing is wasted. Storms do not take endlessly. They regulate. They redistribute heat from ocean to sky, from surface to altitude, from concentration to diffusion. This prevents extremes. It smooths differences. It keeps the planet livable. From space, this process looks gentle. Large spirals, soft edges, slow rotation. Even the most powerful storms are slow by cosmic standards. Hours, days, never instant. The feedback loop does not rush toward an ending. It only moves until balance shifts. Then it releases. There is something deeply soothing about systems that know when to stop. The ocean does not cling to its warmth. The storm does not insist on its strength. Both participate in the same rhythm. This mirrors the human nervous system more than we realize. Stress accumulates like warmth in water. Long hours, repeated thoughts, unreleased tension. The system looks stable until movement begins. Release is not failure. It is regulation. Like rain, like wind, like cooling water after a storm passes. Nothing about rest needs to be dramatic. You do not have to crash to deserve calm. You can cool gradually. Thoughts can slow without force. The mind can release without explanation. Warm oceans do not disappear after storms. They simply adjust. Temperatures shift, currents move, sunlight returns. The loop continues. No memory, no resentment, no urgency, just process. While you lie still, oceans are quietly balancing energy. Storms are forming somewhere and ending somewhere else. None of this requires your attention. None of it depends on your effort. The planet has been doing this for billions of years. Long before schedules, long before deadlines, long before worry. The slow feedback loop is older than anxiety, older than noise, older than thought. Let that settle. Your rest fits inside this system. Your stillness is allowed. As this section gently closes, imagine warm water cooling under rainfall, steam lifting softly, clouds thinning, motion slowing, energy redistributing itself without resistance. In the next section, we will drift even deeper into the quiet aftermath that follows storms. But for now, you are safe to rest inside the loop. The ocean is warm, the storm has passed, balance is returning, and you can let yourself fade with it. After the ocean has given and cooled, after the storm has softened and loosened its grip, something remains above. The clouds, not empty, not passive, but quietly charged. Inside a storm cloud, electricity does not appear suddenly. It organizes, slowly, silently. Within the vast body of the cloud, millions of tiny particles begin to separate. Ice crystals drift upward, heavier droplets sink lower. Collisions happen, gentle, repeated. With every collision, electrons shift, not with violence, but with consistency. The cloud becomes layered. Positive charges gather higher, negative charges settle below, like a floating battery suspended in the sky. Nothing explodes yet. Everything waits. This tension is not chaos. It is structure. A storm cloud is a container. It holds imbalance until release becomes possible. Until conditions align, until pathways open. The charge does not rush. It accumulates patiently, second by second, minute by minute, above forests, above oceans, above sleeping cities. Most of the time, this energy is never seen. It exists quietly, invisible, contained. This is important because tension alone is not destruction. Unreleased energy is not danger. It is potential. Storm clouds do not panic because they are charged. They simply hold. Human stress often feels similar. Thoughts rise, concerns sink. Layers form inside the mind, responsibilities above, fatigue below, everything held. In suspension, the system tightens, not to break, but to prepare. Just like a cloud, the mind organizes pressure before release, and release, when it comes, is not punishment. It is balance returning. Inside the cloud, the distance between charges slowly becomes smaller. Air resists, but not forever. When resistance weakens, a path forms, not randomly, along the easiest route. Energy always chooses the least effort, the most natural direction. Lightning is not an explosion of anger. It is alignment, a moment when separation ends, a quiet correction that just happens to glow. Before lightning, there is deep stillness. The cloud grows heavier, the sky darkens. Sound pulls inward, animals pause, the world waits. This pause is often overlooked, but it is the most important part. The holding, the patience, the readiness. Storm clouds can hold charge for hours, sometimes longer. They do not force release, they allow it. This teaches something subtle. You do not need to resolve everything immediately. You do not need to discharge all tension at once. Some pressure is simply energy, waiting for the right path. At night, clouds continue to carry charge, even when unseen, even when forgotten. Above the sleeping earth, these floating batteries drift. No urgency, no noise, just presence. They remind us that not everything needs action. Some things only need time. Eventually, when alignment arrives, release happens. A flash, a wave, a sound that rolls away. And then the cloud feels lighter. Charges redistribute. Tension dissolves. Balance returns. Not forever, but for now. This cycle repeats again and again, across continents, across centuries, without memory, without judgment. Your nervous system works the same way. You hold, you layer, you wait. And when release comes, it does not need to be dramatic. It can be quiet, a deep breath, a yawn, a moment when thoughts loosen, a slow drift into sleep. Release does not always look like lightning. Sometimes it looks like stillness. Storm clouds do not disappear after discharge. They thin, they spread, they become ordinary clouds again, no longer heavy, no longer charged, just floating, just moving on. This is where we begin to close the journey, from storms forming, to storms organizing, to storms releasing, to clouds becoming light. As you rest now, imagine a cloud above you, soft, wide, slowly drifting, no longer holding tension, no longer preparing, just existing. The charge has moved on. The system is calm. In the final moments ahead, there is nothing left to process, nothing left to resolve. Only space, only quiet, only the gentle afterglow of a system that has done its work. You do not need to stay awake for this. Your body already understands. Like the cloud, you can release. Like the sky, you can remain. And like the night itself, you are free to drift into rest. After the charge has released, after the cloud has lightened, after the sky has done its quiet work, the storm begins to fade. Not suddenly, not completely, but gently. Storms are often described as violent events, as force of destruction. But on a planetary scale, storms are something else entirely. They are regulators. They are movers of heat. They are the Earth adjusting itself. The planet receives warmth from the Sunday, mostly near the equator. Too much heat in one place would create imbalance, so the atmosphere moves. Warm air rises, cool air sinks, moisture travels, energy flows. Storms are part of this circulation. They carry heat upward, they spread it outward, they release it slowly, back into space. Without storms, the planet would overheat. Without storms, temperature differences would grow too large. Storms are not interruptions, they are maintenance. They are the Earth breathing, inhaling warmth, exhaling balance. Every raindrop is part of this exchange. Every distant thunder roll is a sign that energy is moving where it needs to go. Even the storms that seem intense are performing quiet labor at a scale far larger than human concerns. And when the work is done, the storm lets go. Clouds thin, rain softens, thunder moves farther away. The system calms. Nothing is forced to remain. Everything transitions. This is why, after a storm, the air feels different, clearer, lighter, washed. Not because the storm was violent, but because it was effective. It moved what needed moving. It released what needed releasing. Now, imagine this, not as weather, but as a metaphor. Your mind, like the atmosphere, collects heat, deadlines, responsibilities, unspoken thoughts, small pressures that build quietly. Over time, these pressures need movement, not suppression, not resistance, just flow. Storms inside the mind do not mean failure. They mean energy has accumulated. They mean something is ready to move. And just like the planet, the mind has its own systems for release. Yawning, slowing breath, heavy eyelids, thoughts stretching out and losing sharp edges. Sleep is not collapse. It is regulation. It is the nervous system redistributing energy, letting heat dissipate, letting tension travel away from awareness. As this video continues, there is nothing more you need to learn, nothing you need to remember. The storms have done their work. The explanations can fade now. Only sound remains. Rain, soft and even, Thunder, low and distant. Wind, moving without urgency. These sounds do not demand attention. They give permission to stop monitoring, to stop checking, to stop thinking ahead. The earth does not stay awake to supervise storms. It trusts its systems. You can do the same. Your body knows how to slow itself. Your mind knows how to dim its lights. Nothing needs fixing right now. Nothing needs solving before sleep. Storms do not ask where they are going. They move because movement is natural. Rest is natural too. As the rain softens further, notice how your breathing might already be changing. A little deeper, a little slower, not because you tried, but because the environment suggested it. This is how regulation works. Gentle cues, repeated rhythms, no commands, no pressure. Thunder becomes space between sounds. Rain becomes texture rather than event. Time stretches. Minutes lose their edges. If your thoughts wander, that is fine. Storm clouds wander too. If your awareness fades, that is expected. Night fades the sky without asking permission. You do not need to stay with the story. You can let it pass by, like weather beyond a window. Storms remind us that intensity does not last forever. That movement leads to balance. That release does not need effort. The planet has been doing this for billions of years. Long before humans, long before worry, long before clocks, and it will continue long after this moment. You are allowed to rest within this continuity, to trust that systems larger than you are holding the rhythm. As the final images of storms dissolve into darkness, there is no ending to watch, only a continuation into quiet. The rain will keep falling, whether you are awake or asleep. The thunder will keep traveling, whether you hear it or not, and your body will keep moving toward rest without instruction. There is nothing left to attend to, nothing left to track. If sleep comes, let it. If it takes time, that is also fine. Storms never rush their own endings. They fade when the work is complete. And now, the work is complete. The earth has breathed. The sky has settled. The sound remains soft and steady, holding space, so you do not have to. Stay if you are awake. Drift if you are ready. Either way, everything is in balance. Good night.